sequel 19 years in the making. This is my review for Glass. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel, and this is my review for the new psychological thriller film slash comic book film, Glass. This movie stars Samuel L. Jackson, James McAvoy, Bruce Willis, and it is directed by M. Night Shyamalan. This film is about David Dunn, Mr. Glass, and Kevin Crumb, as all of them are in a psychiatric hospital, and they are discovering the fact that they might not actually be superheroes like they think. This is a really hard film for me to review, and the reason why I say that is because on one hand, there are things that I really like about this film that I feel like Shyamalan nails perfectly. Then on the other hand, there are things in this film that don't make sense and kind of frustrate me in terms of the way that they were trying to set up and build everything. So let me go with the things that I like first. The number one thing to like about this movie is James McAvoy's performance. It is amazing. My jaw was on the floor the entire time because of the way he's able to be one character in a scene and then change drastically in the same scene to another character. And to me, that was amazing. There aren't a lot of actors today who could do that and can still deliver an amazing performance the way that James McAvoy did. And it was believable in the fact that I really thought that James McAvoy was all of these different characters. The next thing I really liked about this movie was the direction. I felt like it was very bold, it was risky, and for me, because I'm not like a huge fan of this trilogy, and I'm not honestly a big fan of M. Night Shyamalan, I wasn't expecting anything. I didn't go in saying, this is what I want to happen, this is what I hope happens. I went into this movie just kind of like, you know what, I'm excited to see this. I kind of want to be able to articulate everything that's going on and to be able to understand these three characters and kind of what they're going through. Now, for diehard fans of, Unbreakable and Split and have been really waiting for this for 19 years, you might be a bit disappointed with some of the direction that they take in this film, but I personally wasn't, because of the fact that I haven't even seen Unbreakable. I know, I cannot believe it. I will be watching it soon. And I've seen Split, but because I haven't seen Unbreakable, there is no tie for me when it comes to these three films as a trilogy. Now, those are the things that I like. The things I don't like. Number one problem with this film is pacing. This film, the first 15 to 20 minutes of this film, it is great. I'm like, wow, this movie is going to be amazing. I don't know what the critics didn't like about it, but wow, the first 15-20 minutes of the film were great, and I liked the direction that they were taking. I liked the cinematography. I liked the way things were being shot. But then they get to the psychiatric hospital, and that is where the problems start to happen. This film is such a slow burn. And not only that, but they hit you over the head so many times while they're in the psychiatric hospital that this is a comic book film. So many times Sarah Paulson's character tells them that they're superheroes or they think they're superheroes. And it just gets so old. And to me, after watching it for, 45, 50 minutes in, I'm thinking to myself, man, this movie, has it been 2 hours already? Because there are moments in this film where, because they're trying to build up all of these things, there's so much build up, but it doesn't feel like there's an actual climax. There is no movement from point B to point C. It's literally just all point B, point B, point B, point B, and then towards the end, that's when you kind of get your point C. And that's one of my biggest gripes about this film. The second thing that I don't like about this film is some of the camera angles in this movie. Shyamalan, I think he was trying to get a more realistic view, and he does that sometimes in some of his films that I've seen, and he does a lot of POV shots, and to me, I didn't like it. There was way too many, and the action scenes that are in this movie aren't choreographed very well, especially that first action scene between David Dunn and Kevin Crumb, because it's very dark. You can't really see a lot what's going on. It kind of just looks like they're pushing each other, and it doesn't look like a real articulated fight that you would see in a movie that is supposed to be a comic book movie, because Shyamalan continuing to hit you in the head with a hammer by saying, this is a comic book movie, this is a comic book movie, and show me some better action scenes then. I think the ending fight was better, but it still wasn't great. Now, another problem that I have with this film is the fact that Bruce Willis is pretty much just in this movie. He's a side character. He's not at the forefront. If this is an Unbreakable sequel, if this is a true sequel to Unbreakable, then why does he only have such a minimal set of lines? It feels almost like he just has to be in this movie to kind of tie in this trilogy to show that these movies actually connect, but they don't really give him a character arc. There is no substance there. It's just he's in this movie, that's it. And I like Bruce Willis a lot. Show me a little bit more of David Dunn. Show me what he goes through. It's like he's in the beginning and then he doesn't show up for a long time. It kind of shifts focus to more of James McAvoy's character and Samuel L. Jackson's characters in this film, which rightfully so, it is called Glass, but David Dunn should still be at the forefront with the other two. Now, my last issue with this film is the ending. So they do this thing, I don't know why Shyamalan did this thing, but it seemed like the movie was ending a certain way. Now, there are twists in this movie, so I'm not going to get into spoilers, but it's like there's an ending. You think there's an ending happening, and then it just continues, and you're like, okay, was that trickery? Why would you do that? And then they build up to another end point, and then it's like they continue to keep going, and there's like 3 points in this movie where it could end, and they're just still trying to build on that and trying to tie up all these loose ends. And to me, it's like, to have a real official ending, just have one. You don't need to tie up all these loose things. I understand that you don't want to make another one of these films, but sometimes leaving imagination to the viewer is a good thing. And I feel like this film would have been better if there was some of that imagination left there. But with this film, again, there's just these points in this film where just like, Shyamalan didn't know where to end, so he's just going to continue to tease the audience until he finally got an ending that wraps everything up. And to me, it felt a little too continuous and strenuous. It didn't feel like it was ever going to end, and that's a problem for me. Anyway, guys, that is my review for Glass. I think it is a movie you can skip out on, but if you're a huge fan of Unbreakable and Split, then you should probably go check out Glass very soon. It's a film, again, that like I said, it's very hard for me to review. I have a lot of thoughts, and probably on a second watch, my opinion might vary, but and maybe also after I watch Unbreakable and Split, I might just really hate this movie. I don't think it's terrible, but I was a little disappointed with this film. It just didn't feel like the film did what it set out to do. Anyway, guys, if you like this video, make sure you click on that like button. It will really help me out and show that you support me. Subscribe to my channel if you're new. Also, guys, I will be posting my Troll 2 video next. I cannot wait for you guys to see that. It's going to be a lot of fun going over this film, and it's going to be a really long video, so be ready for that. I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.